Welcome
Welcome.
to Shade in the City. I'm your girl Treese.
It's Nels.
And today, y'all, we are here to get into none other than 90 Day. I literally was getting ready to say Beyond the Gates. 90 Day Fiancé, season 11, episode 17. And yeah, y'all, it's
Too
something
late for
about
love.
what is it?
Too late for love.
Oh, I thought you said wait for love. It's a long time. Get to love. You know, that good Luther, but that's not what you said.
That's not.
Um,
Not
um,
at all.
but yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, please make sure y'all hit that like button for us.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into this recap and let's get shady. So we kicked this episode off with Stevie and Mari. Okay. Now, Mari, as we know, has asked Stevie one more time. He said, I'm gonna ask you just one more time, one more again. Are you bisexual? And she claims that, you know what, I'm just too tired to discuss it. And Mari's like, no, like I'm seriously contemplating whether I
We ain't
need to
got
marry
no
you or
time,
not.
Cookie. We
Okay.
ain't got
He said, ain't no more time. So Stevie claims that she wasn't aware that it was that serious until she learned that he had told Saeed about the paintings. And so she admits to being defensive because she's never been asked this before.
like really just say that. Don't say you didn't realize it was that
Was that
wasn't
serious, especially when this is the third time asking you this.
exactly.
Um,
We showed you it was that serious.
and she just felt like he was trying to make the painting more than, make it something more than it was. And so she tells him that the answer is no. And that she did make him wait it out and she was wrong for that. And so he tells her that, well, I felt alone and you're all I got. And now I'm not sure what you want to do. If you're gonna change your mind tomorrow, that wasn't a really good feeling. And so then Stevie starts to get emotional. And she realizes that she needs to be more understanding of all Marty has, sacrificed to be there with her. And so basically she tells him that she only has eyes for him. Okay. Just him. Ain't got nothing to do with him being a girl, boy, or indifferent. Okay. Now, that's what she said. Now, Marty goes to meet up with Saeed before he's supposed to marry this girl. And so she lets him know before he leaves, look, make sure you set things straight. Okay. Let him know I don't like girls. Okay. And that's what it is. We in this. I'm committed. So and then we see her homegirls arrive. They've come and she has this ugly dress. It was ugly. I had to agree with her. I was like, I hope you ain't got to wear that. But luckily, I think she got another ugly dress that she had ordered. I don't know. I ain't get to see it real good, but from what did, the glimpse, it didn't look too much.
It looked like it got messed up.
It didn't look too much better. But hey, she like
No,
it. I
it
love
looked
it.
like the friend messed it up.
Oh,
He was zipping it.
oh, well, it's her wedding day. She like it. I love it. Claire shows up and, is asking where Marty is. And so she lets him know that he's with Saeed. And then we cut to Saeed talking to Marty. And, he's like, look, I had a conversation with Stevie. She answered my questions. I feel good now. I'm ready to get married. Saeed ain't letting it go. He said, you might have moved on, sir, but I have not. And he feels like
That's how it be.
that's how it be. And he feels like it's his job. Saeed's family is not here. And so he feels like it's his job to step up and protect him and say something. And so that's exactly what he plans to do is go up there and take his ass up there to have a conversation with Stevie. And I said, ooh. I mean, it's not like she not gonna marry him. I mean, I think the only thing to me, I would just first of all, I think that that's Marty's friend, but I do think Marty realizes that he's out of line and doing too much. And I could absolutely see Marty being like, if Stevie was like, you know what, he just can't come. He just can't come. He can't be a part of these
I
festivities.
think by this time, especially if we move forward and, I'm so apologetic and my man understood where the hell I'm coming from. I think at this point, I ain't kissing ass no more.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, I
I,
would, if I was Stevie, I'd be like, get out. Just get out. Don't even worry about it. You know what? If Marty feels that strongly, then he can come to me, but I'm not marrying you. Like I would have been
Mhm,
done.
exactly. All right. So next up is Sarper and Shekinah.
Oh my God. This was so draining.
Not for Sarper. He left. He said, I ain't doing this. He said, you too much. Team too
She
much.
is. She is. And I know everybody got stuff about them, but Lord Jesus.
So Shekinah is trying to figure out why the hell Sarper went MIA, and he trying to figure out how the hell you find me when I went MIA.
Right.
So she told him that she put an air tag on his keychain in case they lost the key. So he was like, hold on, no. You've been tracking me for 90 days? She was like, no, because I never really look at it.
She said,
So
I've
he's
been
like,
watching you, watching me.
so
And
he
I
said,
know.
why didn't you tell me you had a tracker on me? And he's like, because you wanted to know my location. Exactly. Now he said, he's trustworthy and he doesn't, and she doesn't trust him, but she's going to marry a guy that she doesn't trust. It doesn't make any sense. She told him it's normal and he needs to get over it because a lot of people share locations. And he said, yeah, it's normal to people that have knowledge of it. I said, you
Mm,
better fight for your rights, sir.
okay.
All right, you better stand up. Look, because anytime, look, when he was like, well, why you ain't tell me? She got quiet.
Right.
When he was like, yeah, people that know about it, she got quiet. I said,
And to me, that's a huge red flag. I mean,
oh,
if
girl, they
y'all
both
didn't,
got
if
huge
if
red
y'all didn't
flags.
have that conversation before, and now you're finding this out the day before you're married, like that would be a huge. But
Sure,
he want to be with Shekinah so bad. So,
they both have huge red
oh,
flags.
I mean, of course,
I think that's part of the reason they love each other so much. Um, so she said, stop trying to distract me from the issue at hand. And he mentions, listen, okay, you was never married before, and I was, and it was the worst experience ever. So she asked him if he's feeling the same way because he's running away, he's hiding, leaving the house, and not answering her calls or text. And he said that he just needed time. So she said if it's too much to let her know, this is not something she wants to learn later on in the relationship. And he explained that it has nothing, that it's not about her. So she said, yeah, you keep on saying that, but it's me that you're marrying. So clearly it's about me.
right.
And he brought up how, she just sprung the prenup on him. And she said, she didn't mean to do that, but if that's what's, making him take a step back, um, if that's what's triggering him, then they can
Do the
basically do a
post
post
nup.
nup instead.
Yeah.
Um, but she's like, if we don't get married, sir, you're gonna have to go back to Turkey. And he said he don't want that. He wants to marry this girl, and that's what's important to him. So they're on their way to the wedding venue, the hotel room, um, and she's stressed out because you know, no, I'm sorry, they're both stressed out because he wish he
Isn't
had
that crazy?
what.
I guess. I mean, I guess yes, they want to be together so bad, but he has openly said, "I really don't. I want to be with her, but I really don't want to marry her." And she has openly said she's not dying to marry. So these two are really only getting married for a piece of paper, and so they can be in the
So they
same
can live
place.
in the U.S.
Yeah, because they both, and I don't know. I just think that's so.
I
They're
mean,
both going into it knowing that they don't want to be
but
married.
Patrice, we can't have it both ways. We can't say, "Oh, it's stupid for them to get married so they can live in the U.S." and then talk shit when they want to stay, when she want to stay in Turkey, but her daughter is over here.
No, no, no. I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is to me, that would be, I guess what I'm saying is that would be a red flag to me about the relationship. That
Well,
if
neither,
it
well, they just want to
wasn't
be
for
together.
this, I wouldn't be marrying you, is what I'm
I
saying.
mean, and to me that's fine because they just want to be together. They just don't want to get married, and they
Right.
both agree. It's not like one of them is saying, "Yeah, I want to get married," and the other one is saying, "That's not what I want to do." They're both saying marriage is not something I really want to do, but this is really the only way we can be together here in the States. and so I can have easy access to my daughter. So I just feel
True.
like they're just really doing what they have to do. But yeah, they both said that they don't want to get married.
Mm.
That doesn't mean that they don't want to be together though.
No. And that's what I'm saying. That's the crazy part about it. But
Mhm.
I think it's one thing to want to be with somebody. And I also think it's another to just be smart and be like, I can want to be with you, but am I willing to tie myself to you for life? You get what I'm saying?
Apparently so, because they
Yeah,
don't want
no,
to get into
and that's I,
they
again,
want to
red
be
flag.
together
Again,
that
red
bad.
flags. Red flags.
They
That's
want to
all
be
I'm
together
saying.
that bad. They just don't want to get married. And I mean, some people, that's how they are. But they have no choice but to get married if they want to be together. They're not going to let this break them up,
I get what you're
basically.
saying.
Um, so yeah, they're both stressed. He said he wish he had more time, and she's feeling stressed because he's so unsure. Now, apparently, the room that she booked, she said she previously tried to come get a tour of it, but it was always booked, so she didn't get to see it. And her first time seeing it, she hated it.
And I
Um,
understand why I said that was always booked.
Child. Um, she said it doesn't fit her vision, um, and she doesn't see a solution for any of the problems. And this makes her emotional. Sarper tries to console her and tells her everything can't be perfect. What's important is that they're together. And she said she actually rather go to the courthouse at this point. I, I agreed with her actually. And he said, sometimes I think she's a cold-blooded assassin. He said, I told this lady I was scared to get married. She ain't shedding out one tear. But here she go crying over a damn room. I said, well, that's your wife.
Okay.
So since Sarper, wouldn't cater to her temper tantrum, she called her cousin to complain about it. Apparently she left her a voice note. But then he decided to come over and try and console her. And she said she's not happy. He said, yeah, because it's difficult to make you happy. I thought that was hilarious. Then her cousin Courtney, slash wedding planner, gets there, and she almost immediately puts her mind at ease, giving her options on what she can do. So they call the staff and have them come move the bed into the dining room area where the chandelier is. This is the vision, that she had. So they called the staff to give them to have them move the bed into the dining room area where the chandelier is. And just like that, she's excited now to get married in this room, and she sees the vision. Um, so I guess it was that night. I think I thought it was the next day, but that night, I guess they were getting themselves ready for the next day. She puts a face mask on Sarper. She using some little tool to make her eye twitch. This man called her Inspector Gadget. Inspector
It
Gadget.
really
And said,
was giving that. Like
he's,
even I have a roller, but the fact that she had the thing to do it
yeah,
yourself, or
I know exactly
I
what
ain't
it
even gonna
was.
hold you. I was like, I want one of those now.
So he said that she has things coming out of nowhere. Then she put some leg wraps on him, and she kind of said this makes her feel closer to him because she loves when they get to do these things together. It's giving girls' day, it's giving spa day.
But he likes that.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking mess, but yes, it is given that he likes that. He said this is the package that you getting, but if you want to make it more beautified, go on ahead, do what you got to do.
Well, I mean, I guess they got the bed the way they wanted, but even still, just the
It
idea,
did look it did look better though when
it
they
did
moved
look
it.
better. But I guess I just maybe I need to see the finished product. But I felt like maybe she could have done that from her own bed. They might have even been able to get a better, like, I don't know what hotel they was at, but what they paid for.
I thought, isn't their room super small?
Oh yeah, because she live in
Yeah,
that small
yeah,
apartment.
no. She wants that whole table with the flowers and the cake and all that other stuff, and then the chandeliers. She wouldn't have been able to do that from her own bedroom. Even if she bought the chandeliers and stuff, like I don't
I
think she
know.
would have.
I hear what you're saying. I feel like it's a Marriott somewhere or something. She could have saved her a
I
couple
just,
few coins.
I just, I don't, I just wouldn't want. I just wouldn't want to get married in bed.
But maybe what'd you say?
I just wouldn't want to get married in bed.
Oh, I thought you said Vegas. I was like, when did they go to Vegas? Okay.
No.
Okay.
How did you hear Vegas?
I don't know. I don't know. Child. All right. Now let's get to this foolishness. If if Unhinged was a person, it would be
Child,
it would
and
be
this is a
Amani.
preview for next week. Ani calling her, she's like, crazy woman. No, you're crazy. No, boo.
No, you're
It's you.
crazy.
You're crazy.
This is Crashing Out 101.
Right.
Okay. So Amani, Matt, and Ani, they are celebrating being accepted by Ani's family. They're in some like field and a tequila farm or something like that.
It's so
Look,
cute. It's cute.
it was what?
It was real cute.
No, it was cute, but I don't know what like the because it's not a distillery and I forgot the proper name for it, but that's what it was. Okay, where they make the tequila. Okay. So Amani is all excited to go home and divorce Matt so she can apply for Ani's visa. That's when I knew something was wrong. Why are you excited to go home and divorce your husband?
Trace, we've talked about this.
But we know because
She just mad. She just mad. Ani don't want the same thing she
right. So the big question is, which one of them does Ani really want to marry? Since that person's name
push her out the way,
right? Because that person's name is going to go on the K1 visa. So Amani asked Ani, she's asking her about what kind of wedding she wants, and Ani's like, I don't honestly, I don't really care. I'm just trying to get this paperwork, okay? And Amani comes up with this idea of let's have 3 weddings and we'll do all different cultures because I forgot she's from Tunisia. I couldn't remember, but she is. And so obviously Ani
where is Matt from?
Matt's from America.
What culture is
that? American. And so apparently I actually went on I was on IG and I feel like it might have been Shabuti. I meant to send it to you, but he posted something in the group chat where they were on a show called How to Get Rich or something like that. Amani and Matt, and I don't know if y'all can see the picture, but I'm gonna blow it up and throw it on the screen for y'all. Oh no, you can't see it.
Yeah, no.
But you see her, and Matt got a man bun.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were on some show, and it's funny because when they talk about how when they first got married and they got married, I guess maybe that's why I thought of Vegas because it looked like they eloped and went to Vegas, and she ain't have no real wedding, and because they were broke down and busted. You don't remember that flashback? She talks about it in the wedding. That's why she has this whole thing of I want the wedding that I desire because the first one wasn't.
Oh yeah. I didn't think she said because she was broke.
No, that's what she said. She was broke.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's why I think it's funny. You're on a show about getting rich, and now here you are on our screens again, trying to get another little coin and play in our face. But anyway, let's move on.
You be acting like she got it.
Well, So anyway, so Matt, but anyway, she's making this about her, so she can have a wedding she dreamed of with Ani, because clearly the one she had with Matt wasn't what she wanted, because she don't want Matt. That's what it really boils down to.
That's what it's giving.
Yeah. So Matt tells Ani, you know what, I think that you're perfect for us. And so Ani's like, well, what are the next step? And Amani's like, well, we got to do this legal stuff. So Ani knows, well, look, I know I can only marry one of y'all. And so Amani said, well, whoever you choose, I promise I won't be upset with your decision. But does admit that she wants Ani to choose her because she want to live her bisexual life that she's always desired.
I love that even though she said that, it didn't intimidate Ani. And she still said how she felt. Because I was like, why would you even do that?
Say
like,
that,
I feel like she was trying to sway her decision, and I'm glad that it didn't.
Well, that goes to Ani's point about her being controlling. So Ani tells him that she wants to marry Matt because she thinks that they need a protector of the family, and Amani's jaw is on the floor, just in disbelief. I said, pick it up, girl, pick it up. Something gonna fly in there. Them cicadas coming back.
Just leave it there. Just leave it.
So at this point, Matt just sitting grinning ear to ear. I'm happy with whatever you like. And so Amani admits,
she told you that she loved you more than me.
Right.
And like I said, she lied.
Okay. So Amani admits in confessional that she's upset and felt like she's worked twice as hard as Matt in their relationship. And I said, why don't you just tell this man that you don't want to be married to him and you want to date women or be married to a woman? Just say that.
Because of that, she's supposed to love you more and want to marry you because you're
So,
doing twice as hard. That ain't how it works, Bookie.
right. So Amani is having a real hard time accepting Ani's decision and she wants to know why not me? Okay.
Mhm.
And so Ani asked her, well, look, how you feeling? And if are you angry about my decision? And Amani, did y'all and talking about murky water, did you see that water in that hot tub? Now that did not look clean. I see why they just had their feet in. I wouldn't have submerged either. That water did not. I said, oh, somebody need to change that water out. Anyway, but Ani tells her that, basically you stress me out. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So Amani says that she just is trying to make sense of Ani's decision. She compares it to studying for a test and then, coming out with a B, basically. And she's trying to figure out what she did wrong. And so Ani was like, well, sometimes you stress me out. That's really what it is. And
You give too much. You need
right.
to.
And you really have this like controlling thing, going on. And so she's like, and Matt is a little more mutual, a little calmer, and you like drama. And I was like, clearly. And so Amani asked Matt how he feels, and he said, well, I can't be divided between you ladies because I'm gonna be married to both of y'all. And I said, he don't give a damn. Okay. So
If you
then
don't,
Amani
you
is breaking down in the confessional on, why she wasn't chosen. And I was like, girl, I just she clearly does not need to be in a throuple.
it's not for everyone.
It is not, and
And
it's
I want
definitely
you to
not. It's
recognize.
definitely not for her. Now, this was beautiful. I cried. I ain't even gonna hold you. Yes, I
Yes.
did. I was happy for my good girl Joan.
Yes, it was beautiful. So Joan and Greg are up next. Lucille is jumping right into action, calling people, telling them to show up a little early because Greg put the wrong damn time on the invitation. And then she starts having this full blown conversation. And he gets on her about it instead of making his own damn phone calls. He's talking about we got 80 people to call, but I ain't see him not make one damn
I
call.
didn't either.
So
I didn't
what you're
either.
not about to do is get on me about what I'm doing and how long it's taking me, and you just sitting on your ass. That's what we ain't about to do. So while they're at home panicking, she is blissfully relaxed, getting her hair done, and I must say she looked absolutely beautiful. She looked gorgeous. Now uh, in the car ride home, Greg's friend Laura gives her a call just to check in, and she said that she's a little bit stressed because she called Greg and he was kind of panicking, and she's hoping to hear back from him. But Laura said, "Listen, boo, today is your day. I need you to stay cool, calm, and collected, stress free." So Joan said that she's been really nice to her, so she asked her to be her bridesmaid. So Joan gets back to the house and Laura helped her with her dress. And really I was here for Lucille this episode.
I was
I
too.
I feel like everybody needs to be chill like Lucille, okay? Because she's like, listen, either way, if they got the memo or they didn't, if they didn't, then they just won't be coming in. I mean,
I know. I love the way she was like, calm down. Like, it's not that serious. Like,
yeah,
I love
lost
that.
the go. We're not interrupting nothing. I mean, it is what you missed it. That's it.
Look, everybody need a Lucille on their wedding day.
Yeah, I said, okay. So it was hilarious. They had their little moment. He said, I'm sorry. Um, Greg and his mom had their little moment. And he said, thank you for teaching me to be a good person. And she said, yeah, you know, you're 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 very well rounded. And he caught
I
that.
love that well-rounded. That was
Yeah,
funny.
he caught that. He's like, yeah, I am. Okay. So Greg got to the venue at 6 o'clock and he's hoping that people start showing up, and they did. And he is immediately relieved. And unlike Aaliyah, Joan was also on time.
Mm.
Um, and it was a beautiful ceremony. He even got emotional, even had her family on video chat. Joan said it was worth all the sacrifices she made coming from Uganda to the US because now she is married to the love of her life. And then he did like a little nasty little dance for her.
Okay, he said,
Dance for you.
right.
I thought, save this for the bedroom, sir. What's going
He
on
said, I'm
here?
gonna show you something. Because you
Right?
know he can only do but so much. And mama, he gotta go back home. Mama shutting that down.
Well, he might still be at the Airbnb that they got, remember?
Oh yeah.
I would hope so for their wedding night.
Yeah, I think they are gonna go back there. Mark and Mina. This was sad. I don't know. Y'all can drop in the comments. Let me know how you felt about it. This was a hard one. I looked at Mina sideways. I told y'all last recap something is not right about this passport situation. It's not making sense to me. But anyway, so let's get into it. So obviously we've learned that Mina Clayton can't get here for the wedding. Okay, so she's upset that he won't be making it to the wedding, and Mark goes to console her. Mind you, they're looking at the venue at this moment when she gets this news. So she's upset because she had promised Clayton that he would be, that he would be coming. And Mark tries to tell her that it's not her fault, for giving Clayton hope, and reminds her that they're doing everything they can to get him there. And then I know he was trying to make it better, but for me, the fact that he told her we will put a chair out with his name on it.
I ain't seen nothing wrong with that.
I did. I'm sorry. Maybe I feel like you can do that for people in memory of, but he's here. He should be here.
They did it at Joan's wedding on FaceTime because they couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
Why?
Because this is his whole woman's child, and he should be there.
But he can't. So we're gonna put you on FaceTime and put you in the chair.
Yeah, that's supposed to make everything better.
No, but I mean, that's the least we could do.
Let me watch mommy be selfish and make her selfish decisions. Let me sit by. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just.
So he don't feel like he's missing out on it.
I guess. So yeah, so he's basically still trying to convince her to get married. And so he's like, "Are you still, planning to go through with the wedding?" Which she agrees. And then she says that she's not unsure about the man that she wants to marry, but she has issues with her choices, and so do I, and wonders if her son will blame her one day and think that she's selfish. Absolutely. So Mina avoids calling Clayton to even tell him that he's not coming. So finally, Mark and her sister are like, "You need to call the boy and tell him that he's not going to come." Mm-hmm. So then, of course, she calls Clayton. He just chilling, just as happy as can be. Happy to hear from his mama.
Waiting to hear good news.
Right. Probably hoping he's going to get some good news. And then she tells him that, "Look, I'm not happy about this call that I got to make today." And she breaks the news that it's not possible for him to make it to the wedding because, the passport isn't ready. And he's just like, "No." And then you see him get emotional and he gets upset and he tells her he's just ready to be in the US with her and Maria and Mark. And at this point, I was done with Mina. I was done. I would have been on the first thing smoking. Just is what it is. I'm sorry. Just is what it is. I would have been on the first thing smoking, and you would have just had to understand. We would have had to reapply. You got money. You fly all up and down this month. But what I'm not going to do is scar my child and make them feel like they were lesser than. And again, that's something she should have had arranged. And she admits, I was too busy running to the. And I understand that there's time limits and whatever. But I definitely think that as a mother, that should have been something that you took care of before.
So, you know what I wonder? So I know the 90 days starts when you get here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if there's like a time limit that you have before you can fly here. Like, do you have to come here immediately?
I don't. That's what I don't know, because I feel like some people wait.
Do you have like a certain time frame? Like how you have 90 days to get married? I wonder, like, if you have 90 days to come over here. I mean,
Right.
like it's an expensive ticket. I mean, I wouldn't think that you have to come
But
immediately.
not even that. And see, I get what you're trying to say, and I get where you're trying to go. But even then, now I gotta hold it against her because what she had Maria's all of what, 2 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now she been with this man for at least 2 to 3 years, and he done put a ring on it. This was always the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that now you're just thinking about the first kid, that's a problem for me, her being a mom.
And just doing passports.
And just doing passports.
Because really, that's something I can understand
Matter of fact, she should have been doing passports when they was doing the baptism. When they was all over. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was what, a year before she even got. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, and y'all, some people may disagree. I can't see it for Mina after this. As a mom, I can't see it. I understand we have to make tough decisions, but my tough decision is I would have got my ass back on the plane and went to my child. Mm-hmm. Okay, but
and
that's just me.
Now she having another one.
Right.
That supposedly he don't think it's his. All right.
And look, imagine how she gonna feel. Or not even she. I imagine how Clayton gonna feel. Because if I'm not mistaken, and I know I see them post pictures all over, whatever. And maybe she just can't post it yet because of the show. But I see them post pictures and stuff of them, like, going to visit different places, New York and stuff like that. And Clayton ain't in none of those photos. It's just her, Mark, and Maria, and Mina, which makes me think, like I said, unless they still got her, it makes me think he still isn't here, or that they're under an NDA, and maybe Clayton will show up in time for the wedding, and so she can't show him.
Okay.
And I would hope it was that. I actually, if that ends up being it, then I will. Boom! That was a great plot. Oh, y'all tricked us. You surprised us. I'm still looking at you sideways as a mother, but still, I'm glad everything worked out. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Because these two ended up getting married, and I was surprised because we thought that wasn't even gonna happen.
Because they tricked us.
Yeah, they did trick us.
I'm still giving it might not last long.
No, I don't think this is gonna last long at all.
Next, look, as fast as the wedding, okay, and not the wait time. So next up is Aaliyah and Sean. So we know Sean is pissed. He's headed to the car, and he walks and sees Aaliyah and tells her and her friend that they're admiring his suit. And he said, "Yeah, you can watch it as it drives up out of here." Okay, it was giving wash his ass as I. Switch boy. So he told her to, basically go down the aisle, walk real quick. Then they can go get some food and then basically get rid of everybody. So apparently she was an hour and 45 minutes late at this point. He heads to the altar, tells the officiant, "Listen, we're just gonna get to the end, do the legal stuff."
Just say I do. We do.
So he sees.
What do you think about his behavior?
I think that he could have held it till after the ceremony, but I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't have been able to just act all
like it was all good.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been as rude as him. I would have definitely saved it for later, but I wouldn't have been able to just be all shits and giggles. But he sees her coming down the aisle, and he sees this dress that she's been talking about and planning for. And he says at this point he's pretty much checked out, and he's just ready to get through the ceremony. So he really can't take in the dress the way he should. There was really nothing to take in. I mean, really, there was literally nothing to take in.
What do you think about her dress?
I told you what I thought about her dress. First of all, I thought it was inappropriate as hell for a wedding. One, and a wedding surrounded by a bunch of old people. And for two,
what's so funny? He never said what he thought about the dress.
Yeah,
he was like, I waited all this time, and she kept it a big, and I tried not to look, and I felt like he was low key being petty, like being shady. Like, she did all this, and this is what, and we waited all this time for this.
And you thought it was cool to
Did you
come
see the
down the
wig?
aisle surrounded by a bunch of old people with your ass out?
And did you see her hair that she worked so hard on? Her wig? Did she? No, because remember you told me she wanted to do her hair herself. That was the whole thing last week.
And she did. And I think she did her makeup herself too, right?
Yes.
Listen, if you're going to take 2 hours, be 2 hours late, understand why you're 2 hours late. You got to keep guessing. So after the ceremony, they walked over to the reception. And Aaliyah said that she was pretty disappointed at how fast it went, not acknowledging at all that she cut into her own damn time. So she tried to make conversation with him to, kind of get rid of the awkwardness, but he was not having it. Even during the speech, he thanked everyone for coming and her for finally coming and getting around to showing up. In the confessional, he said that he needed her to step outside herself, and it has him second guessing everything, knowing that she can't.
I think he's over the diva kind of behavior.
And it's selfish. It's
No,
selfish.
it is selfish. It is selfish. But yeah,
I don't know. So like, I'm not gonna lie. Like when she asked, "What time is it really?" And you saw how shocked she looked when she found out what time it was. It was like, okay, you didn't know what time it was, but
right.
then it was also like, you still don't get a pass though, because why didn't you know what time it was? You have people waiting on you. You should have been keeping up with the time. So it was kind of like you know what I'm saying?
Well, and I don't think it helps when after we seen the engagement party and we see that this is a consistent thing. So it's like even if you were unsure about the time, this is a big day, and when the first thing he said to you was be on time, you should have made sure you were on
And
time.
a friend talking about I felt like we were being scolded by her dad or something, and you should have.
You should, yeah.
That's exactly how you should feel. It was uncomfortable. You didn't think these people sitting out in this heat was uncomfortable?
His mama sitting there with a leg up in a chair.
Exactly. That would have pissed me off. So
And
no,
because especially knowing that she, that they had just told her what happened to the lady, you would have thought she would have been a little bit more considerate. But
yeah, she's sitting out there in pain still, and
child. All right, y'all. Well, that was Sean and Aaliyah. I don't think they're gonna be together next week. That's just my opinion.
next week already that fast, huh?
Yeah. I don't think that. I mean, I definitely don't think they'll be together by the time we get to the reunion, or the tell all. But yeah, next week I call it because I think it was a rude awakening for him, and at this point, I think he feels like he's done what he needs to do for her. You're married, you've got, you know what I mean. Only thing he can, and she signed a prenup, so I don't know what type of money he promised her, but I feel like he's done what he needs to do at this point, and he realizes he's not going to get what he's going to get, and he's going to keep giving, and that's not good enough for him, and I understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
Make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the IG, the Facebook, and the Blue Sky, because I'll be out here live skying. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all, we appreciate you, and we'll catch you next week, which episode, what, this is 17? I guess 18. So maybe we tell all, 2-part tell all. We'll end the season at 20. See what happens. All right, y'all. Y'all be good. Have a great week. Happy hump day. Bye-bye.